I think it was on the heels of a downturn for the FANG stocks in general, so that was one thing. And then, pretty much anything that could happen coming out of the government is negative for that sector. You've got privacy concerns, you've got safety of the platforms with the Russia probe. You've got net neutrality legislation that could, damage their business. So all these things are sort of negative. Antitrust for sure. And so with, gridlock, the Congress split, I think that, people look at that as a sign that it will be hard for any legislative agenda to come through, and, almost anything is going to be bad for the sector. So I think, people are happy that there's gridlock.
Do you think there was some expectation that something bad could happen during the elections themselves that were going to impact the cost to a Facebook or a Twitter or something? And by the way, if something actually happened that was bad, do you think we would have figured it out by yesterday? I imagine. I imagine if something actually did take place that was inappropriate or was questionable, we'll hear about that in 2, 3, 4 weeks from now, maybe even months potentially.
I just think in general, a legislative agenda that both parties have been critical of the FANG stocks, right? And they've all of a sudden sort of become a lightning rod of criticism and complaints. And, so I think the fact that nothing's going to get done is positive. The interesting sort of, kind of side story here is that anything that is going to happen that's going to cause a lot more investment and maybe lower profit margins in that sector is going to benefit the big cap stocks the most, because they have the most resources to dedicate to complying with whatever
Why are you so confident that nothing will get done? At the press conference yesterday, Trump said explicitly he would like to work with Democrats to regulate social media. Facebook, we saw an immediate reaction, and we saw an underperformance in Facebook shares yesterday relative to the broader NASDAQ. Facebook really seems to have a problem on a day where it's the best day in 3 weeks for the S&P 500 for Facebook to rise. Granted, it was up 1%, but still less than the broader markets. Isn't that telling?
It's a fair point, and Facebook is the one that is the most exposed to the privacy angle. One thing, though, is that the industry, the social media industry, the internet industry, would really like to get federal legislation passed because there are more dangerous bills brewing up in some of the states, including California. So I think that the industry's lobbying hard to get federal legislation passed that they can, again, apply their resources to be in compliance with.